See that taxi, yeah? That carrier, the boy drive a carrier try to take a woman a while ago. Right on Hope Road, cross and Devanos. Police and take him and gone with him a while ago. Traveler taxi. Through the window, the woman jump a while ago and get to it. Police hold him a while ago and gone with him. Look on the license plate. Traveler taxi.
JBN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. St. James Police seized a powered weapon, ammo and mask in Mount Salem. The St. James Police are reporting the seizure of an AK-47 rifle, 26 5.56 rounds of ammunition, a mask, and a firearm cleaning apparatus in Rosemount, Mount Salem on Thursday. Superintendent Aaron Samuels, head of the St. James Division, provided an update on the seizure.
On Tuesday, October 15, between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m., a targeted operation was conducted in the Rosemount, Mount Salem community, where an AK-47 rifle was seized along with 26 5.56 rounds, a mask, 2 magazines, and cleaning apparatus. During the operation, one male was being interviewed when he was searched and a key for a premises found on him. Whilst the police officers were about to breach the premises, he ran off, jumped over a fence, and injured himself along a hilly terrain. On his retrieval, it was borne out that his 2 legs were badly damaged and broken in several areas. We are very happy with this find, as we have been receiving information that there were firearms in the space and shots being fired in the night. I must applaud the work of the police officers in being diligent in searching for these weapons, and we continue to push to ensure that we rid the streets of St. James of illegal weapons. We are asking that persons surrender to the police, cooperate with the police. We don't want a situation where you run from the police and get injured. We are ensuring that St. James becomes a place to live, raise families, and do business.
Security guard gunned down in Portmore. A man was last night gunned down in Portmore Pines, Portmore, St. Catherine. Killed was 24-year-old Bjorn Moore of a St. James address, who was employed by a courier company in Beryllium as a security guard. No motive has been established in Moore's killing. It is reported that at about 10:40 p.m., explosions were heard in the Portmore Pines area and the police called. A team responded, and Moore was discovered along a roadway suffering from gunshot wounds. He was assisted to hospital, where he died from injuries received. The Portmore Criminal Investigations Branch is probing the fatal shooting. 2 arrested after St. James Police foiled robbery attempt. Head of the St. James Police, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says lawmen in the parish foiled a robbery on Wednesday and arrested at least 2 perpetrators.
On Wednesday, October 16, approximately 1:05 p.m., 2 armed men held up and robbed an establishment along Barnett Street. They tried to make their escape on a black Cobra motorcycle when they were intercepted by an off-duty police officer. He was later assisted by the St. James Quick Response Team. The suspects were searched, and 1 black Smith & Wesson M&P Shield firearm was taken from the right front pocket of one of the men. 7 live 9mm rounds were also seized in the incident. A further search of the men was conducted, and a sum of cash was taken from the men, 2 cellular telephones, 2 masks, and a motorcycle key. The scene was processed and the men were taken into custody. We are very happy with this seizure, as we were plagued with a series of robberies, and we had put strategies in place to try and shake what was happening. I applaud the off-duty police officer who bravely intercepted the men, and also the efforts of the St. James Quick Response Team, who were nearby conducting anti-robbery activities within the space. Kudos to the men, and we are trying to ensure that the St. James Division, especially the township, remains safe with our beat officer patrol and the quick response team that are ready and alert to respond to any situation within the township.
Firefighter dies in freak accident. The Jamaica Fire Brigade is mourning the death of another firefighter. The deceased has been identified as Corey Spalding, who worked at one of the stations in Kingston and St. Andrew. Reports are that Spalding fell in his bathroom and broke his neck. He was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His death comes at a time when the Fire Brigade has been mourning several members of the organization who have lost their lives in tragic circumstances. Just recently, the brigade bid farewell to Shamar Mary, who was stabbed to death in the United States in late August while on vacation. Shortly after his death, there was news of another firefighter, Shaheen Nelson, who died after the vehicle she was driving collided with a truck on her way home from work on September 7. She is the stepsister of another firefighter, Lawrence Dowes, who died when a car crashed into a fire truck, trapping him in St. Ann 2 years ago. While the organization was still processing these unfortunate situations, there was news that Corporal Gary Samuels was shot and killed at his home in St. Mary in late September. Spanish Town man charged with false imprisonment of ex-girlfriend. A St. Catherine man has been charged with false imprisonment for tying up his ex-girlfriend and leaving her inside his house for hours after she ended the relationship. He is 26-year-old Nevario Daly, self-employed, of Eltham Park, Spanish Town. It is reported that at about 11 a.m. on Monday, October 14, there was a dispute between Daly and the 22-year-old complainant. The complainant reportedly decided to end the relationship and proceeded to leave the premises. It is being alleged that in a bid to prevent her from leaving, the accused used a piece of rope to tie her up, locked her inside the house, and then left. After hours of being tied up, the woman eventually managed to free herself at about 5 p.m. and subsequently made a report to the Spanish Town police. An investigation was launched, and Daly was arrested and charged on Wednesday. 5 arrested in St. Elizabeth police operations. A series of police operations in hotspots and town centers across St. Elizabeth has resulted in the arrest of 5 people after they were found in possession of illegal items. A gun and ammunition were among the items seized. The operations were carried out on Wednesday into Thursday morning. Superintendent Coleridge Minto, commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police Division, said the 2 first arrests were made in the Santa Cruz Town Center.
During our operations in the Santa Cruz Town Center, 2 persons were arrested and charged for being in possession of offensive weapon, as also possession of crack. This operation continued throughout the night, and sometime after 4 a.m. this morning, a police team was conducting operational activities along the Stevenson Run Main Road. When they signaled a Honda Grace motor car to stop, the driver complied. During a search of the vehicle, a black 9mm pistol containing 4 live rounds was seized. The 3 men that were traveling in the vehicle were arrested and the motor vehicle seized. The investigations are ongoing at this time.
Former investigators say their probe into Keith Clark's death was minimal without independent judgment. A former senior investigator at the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom on Wednesday admitted that she did not exercise any independent judgment in her investigation of the Keith Clark murder case. The witness, Tanisha Wisdom Banton, under cross-examination from King's Counsel Peter Champagny, acknowledged that everything she did was at the behest of the former Indicom director, Terrence Williams. At the same time, Wisdom Banton, while admitting that she was, to some extent, familiar with the Indicom Act, said she was not aware of the requirement for employees to function in an independent, impartial, and objective manner. Pressed further on whether she, as a senior investigator, was expected to operate independently in her investigations, the witness said, "I was expected to follow instructions. We're not talking about instructions. You're expected to function as an independent investigator," continued Champagny, who was representing Tingling. "I don't know what those expectations are," she answered. Wisdom Banton, who said she had been an investigator since 2002, was given evidence at the trial of Jamaica Defence Force soldiers. Lance Corporals Greg Tingling and Odell Buckley and Private Arnold Henry were charged with the accountant's May 2010 murder. The 63-year-old accountant was shot 25 times inside his master bedroom at his Kirkland Close, St. Andrew home on May 27, 2010, during a police military operation to apprehend then fugitive drug lord Christopher Dudos Coke. According to Wisdom Banton, her investigation of the case was very minimal, and she first visited the scene in 2014 and later in 2018. Further, during her cross-examination, Wisdom Banton disclosed that initially, Indicom had interest in 7 soldiers, and she was presented with medical certificates for 3 soldiers. The witness acknowledged earlier that she had given an undated statement, but admitted that her failure was an oversight. According to Wisdom Banton, that statement was in relation to the incident that occurred 13 years ago, and that given the length of time that had elapsed, she would not be able to say with any accuracy when it was signed. Under cross-examination from Henry's lead counsel, Linton Gordon, Wisdom Banton shared that she had written a one-page statement in July this year following a request from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. That statement, she said, was pertaining to some letters that were received by Williams and handed over to her. According to her, she was never aware that she was going to be called as a witness until late August or early September. She also said under questioning from Gordon that she had completely forgotten about the 4-page undated statement that she had provided, and that it was King's Counsel Valeronita Robertson what jogged her memory about the statement during her cross-examination. Meanwhile, Wisdom Banton, during re-examination by Crown Counsel Dwayne Green, said she was not involved in the early stages of the investigation as her employment started in April 2011. She also testified that there were other investigators from Indicom involved in the matter. The trial, which had adjourned on Monday as a result of a medical issue that led to the absence of Nita Robertson, resumed on Wednesday with her junior, John Mark Reed, completing her cross-examination. Her colleague Champagne informed the court that she was still ill and that they weren't able to say for how long she would be out. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.